Well, this has been a very long time coming, but it's because it's summer, and maybe I didn't really was as involved as I used to be. Also, the official translations have for some very strange reasons stopped, so it's kind of difficult to do these reviews even more than before last time. So I'm gonna breeze through Eden Zero chapter 196 to 197 to 198 to 199, and of course 200 chapter. And for me, the anger and found the despair ewer, although I'm semi-retired and mostly just do Eden Zero nowadays, even though even that is not going much. Last time, Hermito defeated Killer, and it's confirmed here that she did. However, Killer refuses to go down without a fight, explodes himself, and infects a virus into Hermito. Elsewhere, Shiki and gang finds Rebecca in a void, and Shiki, with his knight in shining armor, managed to pull Rebecca out of the void before anything bad happens. And Wise manages to finally destroy the subspace, where they see the fight has concluded between uh, Homera and Brigade, who praises her. It's during this time also that the Clown confronts Sister a bit more after raising himself from the water, and begins to have the philosophy that shows a little bit deeper of his personality, saying that the that those who say that machines are alive, it's only natural that death in machines exists as well. So he questions what is considered a death in a machine, system failure or total loss. According to Clown, it is when we cannot execute a single command. So to Clown, everything is just for command of it all. Sister begins to fight Clown, who evades most of her attacks and of course lands a lot of attacks, and says that the command was to eliminate the shining stars, and proclaims that Hermito is infected and Homer is supposed to be dead. And then he enters his nightmare clown and manages to immobilize Sister with a beast, all the while saying to Sigi-sama that he will open the code 3173, the mysterious door that which told Homer about, but never told what was inside. According to Clown, there is something, the Ethereon that Siggy wants is in there. The way he wants to change everything, or control this world, so to speak, is there. And so yeah, that's basically how that chapter ends. And let me tell you, it's not exactly the greatest way to end it all, especially since that shows just ultimate despair winning once again. But then we jump to chapter 197, and things get a little bit more for the way. As Clown prepares to open the door that will give Siggy the power to change the laws of the universe, it is still not explained why Ethereum do that. We actually go back to the Homera and Brigade fight, what happens 15 minutes ago. It looked like Homera had lost and actually also had one of her arms lost, but it turns out it's being a bit more different than that. Brigade confirms that he knows he was destroyed 3 years ago by Jaguar, who actually is in this chapter confirmed to have been the strongest of the interstellar Russian says. That alone shows very strong hints that Jaguar was in a class of his own. That's why he seemed to breeze through everything. Of course, that doesn't explain how easily Nero could have killed him, but granted, anyone dies when they're headshotted, I guess. Maybe. And after undergoing several repairs and remodeling, he gained the strength that he seeded Jaguar back then, he says. This again seems to imply that he knows exactly that he was destroyed and rebooted, which seems to imply that he has the memories of it all. And he says he has the perilous armor and wanted to fight against the perilous sword, and says that you lack the skill. Homura confirms that as she enters his overdrive form, and so they clash through more frequently than before, and indeed the brigade has all the upper hands of everything, not even able to pierce brigade's armor. However, she refuses to back down, saying that she is the sword that will protect her friends. And in a moment of clear thinking, just as brigade charges against her with an ultimate attack, Homura attacks with the warrior brigade. No, sorry, warrior made an attack. Takes a dangerous attack that is the exact same moment where we saw her seemingly lying defeated. It turned out that the only way to defeat brigade was when he was attacking, because right there and there he had no defense at all. So she took a complete blunt of brigade's attack, but at the same time managed to break through brigade's armor as well. With that, it turns out that what we saw was only a red herring. It wasn't Homura that was defeated. She is not even dead. It was brigade who was defeated. We were being tricked. That was good. I would have been kind of pissed off if it turns out that Homura had lost. And brigade then breaks apart, praising her as a valiant warrior, all the while saying that have I fulfilled my duty as a star maiden, and all that Shiki says is that you are my friend, so you have fulfilled the duty of that. And with that, everything that chapter ends as well, with the win of Homura. Now all that is left is Clown, and now we jump into chapter 198. And the sister has returned to Clown's side, seemingly having killed the beast, and manages to heal Hermito before the virus takes over. And having destroyed the beast that has actually turned out to be a beast of ether, Clown traps sister into a nightmarescape where he attempts to torture her. Turns out this is his power, able to trap them into the worst nightmare, and then proceeds to torture them, which should break their minds, so to speak. However, while it looks like at first that sister is being tortured, eventually she overcomes it and turns the table by saying that this is not torture. Seeing that she is a dominatrix, it actually makes sense that for her, things like this is just a cakewalk. And so she activates direct link dive and dives into Clown's head, where she proceeds to enter a more dominatrix form and tortures Clown through many different methods, seemingly breaking his mind, all the while saying, "On my life, my honor is the life of Eden. Your life is the only thing I'll save." Meaning she defeated Clown, but did not destroy him. He merely destroyed his mind. So I have to admit, it's kind of anticlimactic. Even I have to admit that that's how it's resolved. A lot of people are also gonna say that, the Dark Stars were kind of a disappointment. And it's both a yes and no. Yes, in a way they were defeated too quickly, but hell, this is Fairy Tail. They always gets defeated quickly. Sorry, it's not Fairy Tail, it's Eden Zero, but it's the same writer who made Fairy Tail. This is how it's supposed to be. And second of all, I don't know if this is the final arc of this manga, but I'm getting more and more a vibe that this is the end. So of course they have to be destroyed now. It's fate of it all. And also, are you telling me that 3 years training would not be enough to defeat these losers? Of course they will lose this quickly. It's fate. And now we jump into chapter 199, arguably the biggest reveal of it all. In it, the fighters are beginning to return to Eden Zero while Holy confronts Dead End Crow. And also God Aknovella has detected justice, all the while not freeing Elsie, who could actually be a very useful help in this situation. Above the Leonard, the Horatian says Interstellar has of course gathered, as you all know, and it is actually Cure who reveals something very strange here. Again, I have always been thinking that there has to be something off about Cure, because he is seemingly the only robot, although it's very likely that Eraser is also. And while it's not confirmed if he is an agent of Sigi, it is actually confirmed here that he knows that the final Russian says Galactica is here. Yes, it turns out that not only has Sigi become part of the Russian Galactica, granted it should have been obvious, he is a big threat. He's called the Machine King, the Demon King Shiki is here, the Space Pirate Elsie Crimson, the Titan of the Eternal Darkness Dead and Crow is there, the Mother of Dragons, and it actually turns out that Archbishop Saint Fire Knox, the final one that we haven't seen, is also here. And how does Cure know that when not even Feather's Eye of Venus could know? I wonder. And then the Eden Zero crew enter an area where Pino actually detects human existence with beating life. In it turns out to be massive amount of tubes that hold naked women, but not just any naked women. It actually turns out to be the bodies of the mothers of many of the famous people of Eden Zero, including Wise's mother, Madame Kurenai, and many more. As Sigi appears before them, saying, "This is all mothers, and what I'm doing is siphoning off the mothers of the humans." He shows another mother capsule. And who is that mother? Why, none other than Saint Fire Knox, who is the mother of Rebecca. Yep, you heard right. Saint Fire Knox is finally revealed, only turns out that she's somehow actually lost to Siggy and has been captured. And while we see her in naked display, it actually turns out that Saint Fire Knox is a woman, and not just any woman. She is the mother of Rebecca, the one that we have always questioned. What is Rebecca's parents? We grant that we haven't asked ourselves that, but as we enter the final chapter of this review, chapter 200, we see a color page of it all. And yes, Saint Fire Knox has indeed blonde hair similar to, or blonde ash hair similar to Rebecca. She is one of the Russians Galactica, and she is indeed Rebecca's mother. But why is she here? And why is all the other mothers here? We even hear the name of Wise's mother, who is called Irma, as well as many more. Even it turns out that even Laguna's mother and even Jin and Klein's mother are here. But it actually turns out that except for Saint Fire Knox, all the other mothers here are dead. And the reason, so now we get a little bit background information on Saint Fire Knox. Why is she a Galactica? And while we haven't seen exactly if she has done anything criminal yet, because she is captured, it actually turns out that one of the reasons why the Interstellar consider her a threat is because she was the archbishop of a religious organization that can control time. Rebecca can seemingly travel in time for the Cat Leaper. And you telling me that Saint Fire Knox actually was the archbishop of a religious organization that could control time? It's even more effective that Sigge said that all of her followers were wiped out, so and was difficult to retrieve. I have to say that is kind of we'll probably not see any of the archbishops of Saint Fire Knox's crew, but she is part of an organization that controls time. And that seems to be one of the reasons why she was deemed a threat. Granted, anyone who can control time is dangerous, but it still begs the question, Do Orasian says Galactica even know that Rebecca can seemingly leap in time, or do they or don't or they do know, but they don't really care that big? But if Saint Fire Nox can control time, doesn't that make her seemingly an asset? Either way, she is captured here, and he teleport. Then Siggy says that the reason why he's gathering all the mothers here, and saying that they were just set here as an example, any mother would suffice. It is because those that are mothers create a particular ether, the power to create life. Using that, he will unlock the way to Mother herself. You know, the Galactic Mother. And he will finally get a little bit clue what Siki seeks about finding Mother. I thought he wanted to find Mother and make the wish to bury all humanity, but it actually turns out that is not the case. He wants to find Mother so he can destroy her, and by destroying her, Mother, the source of all life, must not exist. Meaning that Siggy believes that if he kills Mother, all life will cease, including the lives of humans, since robots don't really have any life. Although that still doesn't explain why he felt like chronophage, robots, and Mother were all connected. Of course, Shiki will not allow that, but he is teleported away by a wormhole while Siggy left to confront him. But not before telling the Eden Zero crew that he knows all about their plan of Leonard, which of course Wise wonders if there is a turncoat. But there is not a turncoat. There must be a different reason for him to knowing that. Maybe he has managed to listen through Pino's connection, or maybe he heard it from Holy, maybe Holy told the Russians as Interstellar, and if Cure is a mole, then he could have told. Of course, seeing all those mothers shakes Rebecca's resolve even more, and now she can no longer call the chronofish, saying she cannot do this. So the grandparent and the grandson confront each other on a different route. An epic file escalates and it fights very fiercely. But it ends, however, in a little bit strange of it all, as Siggy says, so this is the one who has gone outside the moment of time. What are we talking about? Well, we suddenly see a familiar flashback. Not flashback, a scene into the future. That mysterious scene we saw in the beginning of the manga, 20,000 years later, where Xiaomei said in the next chapter that time doesn't mean much here. We suddenly see it of it all, when those crews found Eden Zero, and they detected something, but it turns out that they did detect a life sign of a male species. He's confirmed to be alive. Who is the survivor of the desolate universe? Is it Shiki? Will it turn out that yes, Siggy really is an alternate Shiki, driven mad by the fact that he died all this time, was turned into a robot, and realized that humanity was all to blame for his crew's death? Is that how he knows about Leonard being and all? But why does it says that Shiki is stepped outside of time? Is it because the destiny that Shiki was supposed to follow is no longer there? All in all chapter 200 is released with some nice information, but still a lot of big questions. What is happening? I don't know. This was a large review of summarizing of all those chapters, but I felt I had to do it. So give me your thoughts if you have any.